So this is not just a spreadsheet, it is a reflection of your financial journey and how you plan to grow. So at the top, right here in the blue bar is where you will put the month for which you are budgeting for. Then right here in the next bar, the green one, the income sources, you list all your income sources right here. Like for example, if you have an 8 to 5 job, you have a side hustle or a freelance job, you're going to put them right here. Then here we are going to use Kenya shillings because that is the currency that I am familiar with. And here, for example, I'm going to put you are getting 50,000 from your day job, and side hustle probably is giving you 20,000. Freelance job, you are getting, let's say, 15,000. And that will be totaling up to 85,000 as your total income. Remember, this amount is net of your taxes. You put in these figures after all taxes have been deducted. So right here are the percentages and the budget allocation as per this pie chart. As you can see, half of what you earn will go to your needs, 30% will go to your wants, and 20% will go to your savings. And according to this, the budgeting limit, the spending limit guide also tells you that you still have 42,500 to spend when it comes to needs. So whenever you're keying these numbers here will update automatically to reflect how much you are left with to spend. So for example, right here where there's fundamental needs, this is where you put in your essential things that you need to pay for. I will just change this to essential. So right here, for example, rent, let's say for rent you're paying 12,000. It will automatically update right here, actual spent 12,000. If I add another cost, food and grocery, for example, let's keep it at 15,000. It will automatically tell me that I've actually spent 27,000 so far and I'm remaining with 15,500 to go under the category of essential needs. Under transportation and fuel, we can put here 5,000. This is a budget for public transportation. I'm sure it is very different if someone is using a private car. Remember, this is just an illustration and you can always tailor it for your own financial situation. So here, healthcare, you can put 4,000, and also depending on the employment type you have, some employers do pay medical covers for their staff. If there is this kind of payment that is done to you, then you didn't have to put any amount here. You just keep it at 0. And for the phone and airtime, we can keep it at 500. Internet bills, 1,500. I still have 8,500 to spend. For the cooking gas, we'll keep it at 6,000. And for water, we will keep it at 1,500. So I still have 1,000 remaining to spend. Depending on what you want to categorize under fundamentals, you can add an item, or even if you know you're spending much on phone airtime, you will come and add the 1,000 here to fit what you need. So as you can see right here, you've already spent everything that is allocated under the 50% of your income. If, for example, you adjust even by 1 shilling, it will automatically tell you that you have exceeded the limit by 1 shilling. So let's say you change this 1,500 to 1,501. It will tell you here in red that it is overspent by 1 bob. So what you're going to do is just to keep it within the limits that you need. So the next category is wants. Here include things like dining out, miscellaneous, entertainment, subscriptions, luxury shoppings. They are things that essentially you don't need to have, but they really do make your life easy. So here we can keep this remember, according to this budget, 30% of your income is 25,500, and so you are going to use that as what you budget for under your wants. So let's keep the dining out at 7,000, miscellaneous 1,000, then entertainment we can keep it at 2,000, luxury shopping 1,000, gifts, depending on whether you are intending to gift someone for that particular month, you can keep it at 500, or if you're not having such an expense for for that particular month you are budgeting for, you will just keep it at 0. Gaming and outdoor activities, let's keep this at 3,000. It's still telling us we have 1,500 more to spend. So for gym subscription, let's keep it at 8,000. Gym subscription differs from geographical location, especially if you live in urban areas, it is quite more expensive. So for donation, depending on whether you want to donate something to any place you wish, you will keep it at a figure that you wish to donate, or leave it at 0. For vacation, we can keep this amount at, maybe let's say you're contributing 2,000 towards your vacation. And facial, it is telling us right here that we have 1,500 remaining. So if I put facial 2,000, it will automatically indicate that I have overspent. If I put 2,000, it will automatically tell me that I have overspent with 500. So here what you can do is look for what you need to adjust, so that it fits within how you wanted your budget allocation to look like. So for example, here I'll just leave it at 1,500, or you can adjust any of these figures, remove or add which one you prioritize. So that's done under wants. And when it comes to savings, what we are going to do, the first one is emergency fund, and we are going to allocate some money towards emergency fund. I will talk about emergency fund in a future video more in detail, why you need it, why you should have it, how much you should keep in it, and different things that you need to know about having an emergency fund, and also where you should save it. So right here we are going to keep it at 3,000. Remember, the amount we have under this category is 17,000. That is 20% of your income. We have spent 3,000 so far under emergency savings, and we are remaining with 14,000. For investment option, probably you could be keeping 7,000 as you try to brainstorm on what to invest in, opening a business, something like that. When opportunity comes, we'll find you ready with the finances so that you are able to grow yourself and start a business. So debt repayment, if you took a debt and you are repaying it, this is the category where it falls. Let's say you are repaying 2,000 per month. And for example, furthering your education, this is also an investment because it is something that is going to increase your earning potential. I will assume that, because the more education you have, the more you are able to negotiate for a higher pay. So we can keep this at 2,000 if you're saving towards furthering your education to do masters or PhD. So when it comes to housing fund, these are, for example, if you wanted to buy a home or buy a house, you put it specifically as a house fund, and you can contribute probably, let's say, 1,000 bob, so that it does make sense. But these amounts are just for illustration. Remember, you will key in the actual figure that reflects your actual reality in terms of your finances. For retirement here, let's say 5,000. Yeah, we have overspent with 3,000. So it tells you that you need to remove either. You can choose to remove housing fund for now, and you will do it later for another month, or you will start when you are in another earning potential. But for now, let's just remove it and leave it at 0, though it is something you can just keep it there to be sure that you will plan and keep a figure right there in the future.